Greetings, programs. Welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews. So, today we're going to go over a figure that I've had for quite some time now. Been meaning to do a video on it, but just never quite gotten around to it until now. We're going to go ahead and look at the Transformers Prime Voyager Megatron. And I'm probably going to make some people a little bit mad with this video. I don't like the alt mode. Yeah, I know. Not actually that big of a, controversial statement. As you can see, yes, he's in his weird pseudo spaceship thing from the show. It almost works for me, to be honest. It almost does. I can't even quite really put into words what it is that I end up disliking. To be fair, it's probably just the transformation. I don't really care for transforming this guy. We'll get to that in a bit. But as you can see, it's doing the thing from the show where his head is like sticking out a little bit, so it looks like he's piloting himself. That's actually kind of funny. It is accurate to the show, so I'm okay with that. But yeah, I think it's just a little too bulky with a little too little wing for even me to give it a pass. It looks half done, in my opinion. This is what fan modes usually look like, but here it's trying to actually be the alt mode. So that's probably my issue with it. I'm not always sure how to put things into words. I just don't care for this alt mode. I want to, but I just don't really like it. It gets worse, actually, if you take his weapons and peg them onto the back here like you're supposed to. This just makes him a mess, frankly. Yes, this is one of those old mech tech weapons. Yay, he's got a sword sticking out 1/4 of an inch from the end of the barrel. Yeah. So, yes, I know, bit of a hot take. Ooh, how dare he. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this alt mode, but let's be honest, if you get this figure, or you got this figure, you didn't really get it for the alt mode. You got it for the robot mode. So let's go ahead and get to the good part here. So, first thing you're going to do is come up here, and the wings are tabbed on right under here. I'm not really sure how to show it, but go ahead, get them unpegged, and rotate them up. Which, I will give credit. This figure being almost 10 years old, or probably over 10 years old at this point, still does hold together in this mode very well. As piecemeal as it is, it does really stay together. But anyway, get those unpegged, and then the legs are pegging on the back of these little spots here. Just go ahead, unpeg them. Come to the back here, and wow, yeah, that worries me. Unfortunately, we are dealing with a lot of clear plastic on this figure. But go ahead and start rotating this down. Bring it down about halfway. Straighten the legs out, rotate this up, and then you'll finish closing off this this double hinge here. And the leg will actually come down and... Oh, missed the step. Fold this little fin on the end of the wing in. Then bring this down the rest of the way. Legs will close up. Put that down. Spin it around. And take it in. Get the legs kind of oriented there. Bring these pieces out. Take this piece. It's on a double hinge as well. Bring it up. Tab it in there. Rotate these down like that. And then if gravity doesn't do it for you, he folds down right here. And a nice touch is as that comes down, in fact, here, let me bring these pieces down, and bring these out so you can see a little better. There's a hole right here in what's about to be the chest. As this comes down, the Decepticon insignia actually comes up to fill that in. That's a pretty neat detail. I do like that. Then, let's see, bring these pieces back up. Bring these pieces up to finish forming his chest. There's a lot of bring thing down to move other thing, just to put something, put it, the first thing right back where it was. Go ahead and open the feet now, just so we can get him to stand a little bit. And we're going to come to the back here. These pegs are coming down into the forearms, so go ahead and get them unpegged and unpeg the arms from each other. Fold these pieces up. Fold these shoulder pieces forward. And then there's these little tabs sticking out here that will slot in right there to the back of these chest pieces. Again, I am very impressed with how well these things all still fit together for this figure's age. His arms rotated into place. Flip out the hands. Bring down the shoulder pads. And then for the back here, there's kind of a couple things you can do with all this mess. You're going to want to flip that purple piece up either way, though. But then, yeah, you can kind of leave these down like this as wings. Me, personally, I like to bring them up like this, which gives them even bigger shoulder pads. That is a very Megatron thing, in my opinion. So I like going with the extra, shoulder pads. You can even, fold these back down, not making that horrible click, and just leave them sticking out like that so you don't even really see them from the front. Or if you want, you can even, pop this off right here, or unscrew that, whatever. Take it off. You've got a lot of options on how to handle the backpack on this guy. But either way, he's in his robot mode, and this is what you have this figure for. Yeah, I know. Some people probably expected me to complain the whole time after the way I introed this. No. This robot mode is fantastic. I love that head sculpt. The shiny paint on his face is actually just making it is well sculpted and well detailed. It's just making the light go a little weird, so you can't really see. Just a little bit of subtle, brush lines throughout most of the molding process. It gives this guy it gives him a look. That's kind of the only way I know how to put it. It gives him a look that I really, really enjoy, actually. Articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint, so you get some wiggle, little bit of up and down, not a whole lot. Some rotation. He does have a very big chin that gets in the way. The eyes are light-piped purple, but it's one of those colors that doesn't really show up. But at the same time, it doesn't give him that dead look either, because you do still very clearly get, you can see the purple coming through either way, so it's not one of those light piping situations. Arms can go forward, they can go back. The shoulder pad moves around a little bit to help, let the arm do what it's trying to do. If you have it exactly lined up, the arm goes outward as well. There is a little cutout right there on the ball joint in the shoulder. It can take a little doing to get everything lined up, but it will line up and let that move outwards. It gives you a little bit of rotation as well, which is nice. And you've got 90-degree bend at the elbow, or I guess not quite 90 degrees. Rotation right there in the middle of the forearm. Hands can move in and out. No waist rotation, which, with the way it transformed, not really, I don't expect anyone to be surprised by that. ball joints at the hips, so he can kick forward, he can kick back, he can do the splits. He's got a rotation at the thigh. He's got a nice deep knee bend, a little bit past 90 degrees. Feet are molded at a bit of an angle, so he's got the A stance going on. And you can, move the two halves of his feet to help stabilize him. Overall, really, really good, in my opinion. Here, let's bring those out. Make him, yeah, there we go. Let's go with that. Yeah, I really, really like this guy. Really quick, we'll go over, obviously, the weaker aspect here, which is the weapon. This being a mech tech weapon was a bit of a lame call. This figure even had, it was one of the, really early upgrade kit figures that was around in the day. Mostly what the upgrade kit did was replace this so you didn't have, this terrible spring-loaded red LED into dark purple plastic so it doesn't actually light up mess. The weapon here is weak. It is technically two weapons. This piece is just pegged in right here. It does make for a really cool looking fusion cannon. I will not deny that this is a good fusion cannon. The problem is that this version of Megatron had a sword that he used a lot. You cannot lock this mech tech weapon out. This isn't like the later movie ones where it actually had a locking mechanism. Because this one had a light gimmick, they made it so it doesn't lock out. That's lame. Battery pack's right there, by the way. Once in a while I get someone asking about battery compartments, so hey, there you go. It even says what it needs right on the back. But, yeah, it's just got a peg right there to peg on, and there's a little extra tab sticking off the back, which is very handy because there's a little notch on the back of these ports on either forearm. Though we are purists around here, we put Megatron's fusion cannon on his right arm, and it helps keep it straight, which is always nice. Then you can either put this piece back on, or the handle is actually too small for his hand, which means he doesn't actually hold on to it. You just bring it around and then peg it into the forearm right there. Give him his weird, melee punch thing. It works. I'm not going to complain. It works. Overall, this is a really, really neat figure. It's just, kind of like the Megatron we looked at last week. It's a figure that you get for the robot mode. You're not here for the weird, half attempt at a spaceship. You're here for the glorious, glorious Megatron looks, the sharp pointy teeth, the silver face. It does end up being another of those figures where I worry a little for the longevity because there is so much clear plastic. Obviously, you're starting to see some, stress a little bit on that point right there. But at the same time, I've had this thing for, I didn't get it, new back in the day, but I've had it for a couple years now. It was like that when I got it. It's not gotten any worse, and I have transformed this guy, a decent number of times. I think because this is kind of that milkier, not true clear plastic, it will last a bit better. If you don't do anything ridiculous with it, it'll last fine either way. It's still a really, really cool Megatron. Definitely worth tracking down if you like Transformers Prime or are just, a Megatron collector. Anyway, as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.